China isn't just planning a moon base, they're already building one. Right now, as you watch this video, robotic missions are quietly laying the foundation for what could become the first permanent human outpost on the moon. Not in science fiction, not in the distant future, but within the next decade. And the wildest part? This base won't just sit on the surface. China wants to build deep underground, inside ancient lunar caves carved by volcanic lava billions of years ago. Today, we're breaking down how China is doing it, the massive problems they must solve, their three-phase plan, and what this means for the United States as the new space race heats up. Let's get into it. 1. Why the moon is a nightmare for human life. Before any country can build a moon base, they have to face a harsh truth. The moon is one of the worst places you could ever try to survive. There's no atmosphere, no air, no insulation, no protection. Daytime temperatures hit 120 degrees Celsius. Night temperatures drop below -30 degrees Celsius. Each day on the moon lasts 14 Earth days, followed by 14 days of darkness. Cosmic radiation constantly bombards the surface because the moon has no magnetic field. And then there are meteorites, tiny rocks traveling at insane speeds that never burn up because there's no atmosphere to stop them. Astronauts from the Apollo era stayed for only a few days. China wants humans to live there long term, and that requires an entirely new way to build. 2. China's three-phase moon base strategy. China's lunar program follows a very clear blueprint. Phase 1, reconnaissance. Robots explore, map, and test the environment. Phase 2, construction. More robots build a fully functioning base before humans ever arrive. Phase 3, habitation. Human crews move in once the systems are stable and safe. Right now, we're somewhere in the middle of Phase 1. The Chang'e missions, China's series of robotic landers and rovers, have already carried out dozens of experiments that are shaping the future base. 3. China's first experiment in growing life on the moon. In 2019, the Chang'e 4 lander carried a tiny sealed ecosystem. Inside were cotton seeds, potato seeds, fruit fly eggs, yeast. Scientists wanted to see whether living organisms could survive low gravity and intense radiation. For a moment, it looked promising. Cotton seeds sprouted, becoming the first plant life ever grown on the moon. But within a few days, the extreme temperature swings killed everything. It proved one thing. If humans want to survive, the habitat must completely shield life from the moon's brutal environment. And that leads us to construction. 4. How China plans to build a moon base using the moon itself. Shipping heavy building materials from Earth is wildly expensive. So China wants to use lunar soil, regolith, to build everything. 2 major construction ideas are in development. A. Brick-building robots. A future mission, Chang'e 8, will test whether lunar soil can be turned into bricks. Here's the process. A robot scoops lunar soil. The soil is packed into molds. It's heated inside a robotic oven, creating solid blocks. Another robot stacks the bricks using a special mortar. These blocks offer massive protection from radiation, shielding from meteor impacts, insulation from extreme temperatures. But there's a problem. Bricks are terrible for holding internal air pressure. You can't live inside a square structure on the moon without something bursting. So China is exploring a more futuristic alternative. B. 3D printed moon pot habitat. This idea is way more advanced. Robots heat lunar soil until it melts, mix it with an adhesive brought from Earth, and then 3D print a large rounded shell, like an eggshell. The structure has an outer shell, an inner shell, and a core made of triangular ribs for strength. This curved shape distributes pressure evenly, making it ideal for a pressurized human habitat. Before printing, robots lay down a thick slab of lunar concrete-like material to absorb vibrations from moonquakes, which happen surprisingly often. It's one of the most realistic moon-based concepts ever created. 5. The biggest challenge, energy. You can't build anything without power. China and Russia announced plans to build a nuclear power plant on the moon, and honestly, the moon is a great place for it. No atmosphere equals no overheating. Deep craters stay permanently cold, perfect for cooling reactors. Radiation? The moon is already drenched in it. Russia struggles with spacecraft, but they're world-class in nuclear reactor construction. China wants to lean heavily on that expertise. A nuclear plant on the moon could power habitats, resource processing facilities, 3D printers, scientific labs, communication arrays. This is the backbone of the entire moon base plan. 6. China's underground moon base vision. If you think a surface moon base sounds crazy, China wants to go deeper, literally. They plan to explore lunar lava tubes, giant empty tunnels under the surface, naturally protected, naturally insulated, naturally safe from meteorites, extremely large, some big enough to hold entire cities. The Chang'e 7 mission will scan the South Pole with ground-penetrating radar to map underground caves. If they're stable, China could build entire living quarters inside these lava tubes. Imagine underground farms, labs, living modules, observation posts, storage facilities, all in a naturally protected environment. It's like building a city inside the moon. 7. China's timeline. 2030s construction, 2031 to 2035 major missions. China has already scheduled 5 major moon landings. Mission 1, Command Center plus Basic Power plus Communications. Mission 2, Research and Exploration Facilities. Mission 3, In situ resource utilization, turning moon soil into usable material. Mission 4, Robotic experiments and sample return missions. Mission 5, Astronomy and Earth observation stations. After these modules are set up and running smoothly, humans arrive to live long-term. China hopes to land their first astronauts on the moon this decade just to prove capability, but long stays will come later. 8. The new space race, China versus America. China isn't the only one racing for a lunar base. The United States is working on the Artemis program, which aims to land American astronauts, build the Lunar Gateway space station, and establish a permanent presence at the South Pole. Both nations want the same strategic assets: water ice, rare metals, South Pole real estate, scientific advantage, geopolitical influence. The moon is the new frontier, and whoever builds the first sustainable base gets a massive head start for future missions to Mars and beyond. China's plan is bold, risky, and unbelievably ambitious. Robots building cities, nuclear power plants on alien soil, humans living underground in massive lava tubes. But this isn't fantasy anymore. This is the next decade. The only question is, who reaches the finish line first, China or the United States? If you want to deep dive into America's lunar plan and how the two programs compare, make sure to subscribe, because that video is coming up next.